Hey, sweetie fam. Boop, 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 boop. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Forever Patra Denise, produced by Zenny Productions. This is my sweet tea. Just because it's tea does not mean it's got some. Hey. Sometimes you just got to keep doing stuff. You just got to keep doing it over and over again. The wisdom for today. And you're like, what? Exactly. I'm here to talk about the recap of this year. From 1 year ago today till now. I quit my job. 5 years. 1 year ago today. Terrible place to work for a person like me. No work-life balance. If you know me, you know that my life revolves around being the one and the only Mrs. Rhodes-Wilson and being mommy to TJ Rod. That's one thing. If you know anything about me, you know that I do this for them. And that's on period. That's 100% me. And so the moment I can't be Mrs. Rhodes-Wilson 100% of the time and, you know, an amazing mom to those 3 kids who didn't ask to be here, you got to eliminate yourself or I got to eliminate you. And so that's what I did. Now, January, I dyed my hair. I need a different look. I need something different. I also redid my room. Redid my little office that I had in Clarksville in the house that I was in. And I was okay with that. February, I definitely believe I caught COVID. I flew to the Midwest for my cousin's baby shower. And my sister's cousin's baby shower. And I definitely believe I caught COVID because me and my cousin got it because we both flew through the airport. She came from Atlanta. I came from Tennessee. After that, I had a stomach bug. Right after, gave it all to my husband, and I fasted right after that. That allowed me to find the YouTube engagement groups, which has been a godsend to my channel. March, celebrated 11 years together, 7 years of marriage to my husband. Yes, super excited about that. Nashville has a tornado like the next day, and then like 5 days later, we get locked down for COVID. Kids don't go back to school from this point on, for the most, you know. February, we get that stimmy, and I need them to go ahead and drop my money. Right. Oh, I also forgot, March, we decided to buy a house. Locations was, we had different locations, 4 locations. We had the suburbs of Nashville, suburbs of Chicago, Champaign, and Kalamazoo. We immediately exiled the suburbs of Nashville because Nashville's expensive, and then even the suburbs are becoming expensive. And we wanted to buy a house, so wherever we were. And then we also didn't know about all the suburbs. Because I was going to live in a place that we didn't like. Would be terrible that we bought a house there. Suburbs of Chicago, same thing. I was willing to risk it because it was the suburbs of Chicago. But we didn't want to be put in a place like that. Put in a predicament like that. So Kalamazoo and Champaign became the 2 main options. We definitely would have moved to Kalamazoo, but there was not that many places for what we needed. Like, we couldn't find that many places to buy. And there's 5 of us, so we need at least 3 bedrooms. My husband needed a place to work. I needed a decent sized office. You know, we needed at least 2, so many things that we needed. And Kalamazoo wasn't given to us. So the reason we was going to move back to Kalamazoo is because of the Kalamazoo Promise. Kalamazoo Promise gives students, pretty much pays their tuition as long as you go to college in Michigan. And you can get up to 65% moving to Kalamazoo your first year in high school and starting your freshman year. So my son was going into the 9th grade. And even though he wouldn't have been there since kindergarten and been able to get the whole 100%, 65% is more than half, right? So it would have been a good deal. So that's where, why Kalamazoo was an option. Now, what Kalamazoo wasn't an option is because my baby daddy lived there and we don't mess with him like that. And I don't want to have to hurt nobody, so... So we now down to Champaign. Champaign is still 6 hours away from Nashville, which is not far at all. And it's like 3.5 hours away from like Ben Harbor, Kalamazoo, where I'm from. So win-win, right? And we only an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from, more like an hour and a half from Chicago. And then we're like 2 hours from Indianapolis. So we're very close to large cities without having to live, in a larger city. April, we decide on 6 houses we're going to see. Find a realtor and a broker. We go see those houses, we put an offer on a house, they decline 100%. as we're reevaluating our lives at that point, like, what are we going to do? Because we decided we were not going to renew our lease. And I wasn't working. So we decided that we was like, okay, well, my mother-in-law lives here. She has a big house. We'll just live with her for a little bit, X, Y, and Z. As we made that decision, I walked down the steps to get a notification for one of the houses that we did see. They go down on their cost for the house. We start looking at that house, pros and cons of it, i.e., where we at now. They accept our offer. We start the inspection process. That was good. May comes. The inspection process goes well. There were some things that need to be fixed on and took care of. So we got that taken care of. And then we had another inspection to make sure that was going to be right. Make sure everything got taken care of. Appraisal done. And then that's when we get the notification that my grandma's put in the hospital. Now, at this time, it's still COVID, so can't nobody go up there and visit her. And they pretty much told us that there's nothing they could do for her. She could have, she can, you know, still live her life, but it's going to be no more on a hospital stay. Just want to make her comfortable until she's no longer with us. At this point, we don't realize that my grandma's going to pass away. So my last Mother's Day with my mom, like in the city, you know, where she was only like 35, 40 minutes away. And I also let her know that we bought a house. And we're gone. We're going to leave. We get the notification on May 21st that everything went through and we can close on our house. We'd already told them at the beginning of May that we don't want to close until June 5th, which is my 35th birthday, which is why we did my husband bought me a house for my 35th birthday, because it was going to be like my birthday gift. I do a garage sale, which was so lit. I had never done one before, so I was so excited about that. My sister cousin comes to visit, and she lives in Atlanta. Atlanta is 4 hours away from Nashville. I was only about 35 minutes outside of Nashville. So she, you know, when I lived in Nashville, she'd come visit all the time. So driving an extra 35 minutes wasn't much. And we clowned, had a good time. My grandma celebrated her 85th birthday, May 30th. We're packing and getting ready to leave, right? Now, on June 4th, we have to drive to Champaign because we have to do the walkthrough on the house at like 3. So as my husband has pulled the car on the dolly that pulls the car, because that dolly was connected to the Penske truck. My mom was in her car with the kids driving, and we get the notification. We get the call that my grandma has passed away. I'm literally getting in a truck. It was something I never want to have to tell my mother, but I had to. And we explained to her, like, you don't have to go with us. We will figure it out. We put them kids in that car with us, that truck with us. Like, you can stay. And she was just like, no, my mom would want me to help y'all and be with y'all because that's what she would do for me. And I was like, okay. So at that point, I was reevaluating my life again because I didn't want to close. I just wanted to be with my mom and it was just hard. It was really, really hard. And then the next day was my birthday. So I definitely struggled the next day because it was my birthday. And then my grandma had passed away. And I felt like, why should I be celebrating my birthday and this experience, buying a house and all this? And my grandmother's no longer there. So I had a really bad attitude. I was just not nice, not happy. I'm not an emotional person, like none of that. But I was very emotional. We close on the house. Everything goes good. No issues, no problem. We move in. And now they're trying to figure out where we can have a freedom for my grandmother because it's COVID. In the midst of, so it took about 2 weeks to figure everything out. 2 weeks. So in the midst of that, I painted my office. I created studio suites. And that's where I am now. And I just began to prepare myself for the future without my grandmother. I was very close to my grandmother. She, we spent every summer with her up until I was about 11 or 12 years old. I'm talking about like from birth. So this is 12 years of my life, not including all the holidays and all that other stuff as well. So definitely a hard pill to swallow. Also bought my daughter a bike that fit her size, and I taught her to ride with training wheels. So we still working on the non-training wheel part. In July, I got my hair braided. It helped me feel better. My husband had a dope birthday party. It was like me, obviously our children. 2 of my sister cousins came down with their husbands and kids, which they only had at that time. No, they only had 4 kids together. So we had about 10 or 12 people here, but everybody was safe. Everybody was separated. We had the kids in one area, which is separated from us, the women in another area, and the men in another area. So, but that's how we wanted it to be, because we like to hang or whatever. So that was fun. I also started an investigation, and hopefully I'll be able to tell you about soon. But right now I cannot disclose that. August, I started to paint my girls' room and get their room together. It was very hard, but very fun. And prepare myself to do remote school for my children. I also started working out in August, eating healthy, just trying to get into the swing of things and doing better for my body. In September, so in August, September is when Zenny Productions really started, or when I start saying, no, actually I start saying Zenny Productions in like June, July. And Zenny Productions is my production company, and Zenny stems from my grandfather's nickname, my grandmother's nickname. So my grandfather's nickname his name is Dennis, but they call him Denny. My grandmother's nickname is Z. Her name was Zenobia, but they call it Z. So I put the Z and the N from Denny together and made Zenny Productions. My grandfather always said I was supposed to be in front of the camera. And I should have been a meteorologist, an anchor or something, but I didn't belong to be in front of the camera. I'm articulate, I have the face for it, I got the attitude, I got the pizzazz, like all that. My grandmother, she's the first person to introduce me to fashion. That's originally how I started doing social media for my daughter, was dressing them up and making them cute and styling, things like that. I also have a degree in fashion, so. And she was like, you just have an eye for it. So Zenny Productions was created. Zenny Productions is the umbrella that hosts That Guy 52, which is my son's TikTok, which he got pretty good views on TikTok. Summersinsydneyteev, which is the meat and potatoes of Zenny Productions as of right now. My content, Forever Patra Denise, and then my husband was just C1 Music as well, even though that's kind of his own entity, but it's still under, So that's where it came about. So that's why I say this is produced by Zenny Productions, because forever I could not be here without Z and Denny being together and creating my mother creating me. So, and that's it on period. September, I had 2 videos. I wouldn't say go viral, but they definitely did very well in 24 hours. My first time I had videos, it was 1 video and I did another video. Actually, I did 3 videos. 1 video did well, a couple hundred views. The second video, a couple thousand views in 24 hours, and the third video, same thing. I also got to see my family, got to see my mom again. We went to Midwest for Labor. Went to Michigan for Labor Day. Doing really well in school. If you do not know, he has ADD and brain seizures. So school has definitely been difficult for him for years. And he's doing very well as freshman year in high school. At the last minute, like September 30th, I decided to do Vlogtober. Vlogtober is when you post a video every day worth of fall material content. And I did the best way I could, but I definitely had a good time in doing it. I created myself my first real deal intro, where it's different clips of me doing different things in my office. And as I look back, it wasn't the best, but it was definitely great for myself and giving myself that experience. Vlogtober was lit. Also, Vlogtober was another time where I had another video that got thousands of views. It's my highest viewing video as of right now, and it's the video about Kadeen and Deval Ellis, clip from their podcast. So I love them. So I love that I was able to, have that experience. So I definitely been on a high cloud. During that time, I'm also preparing for Vlogmas. November comes. My daughters, we celebrate their birthday as best as we could, take them out shop as best as we could, because we've been very limiting them on their exposure out to outside, and that's just the truth. But at the same token, we know we can't not go outside. So we have been slowly but surely training them to keep their mask up, wash their hands, things like that when we're going outside, not just in the house. Celebrate their birthday. We prepared to go to Michigan for Thanksgiving because it's our year to go there. But the COVID cases get high, and we decided not to go. And I literally make myself sick about it, because I knew it was the right thing to do, but that's not what my heart wanted. I wanted to be with my cousin. I wanted to love with my little nephew cousins, niece cousins, because that's what my cousins call each other, sister cousins. I needed that because my grandma was no longer here. I just needed to be around that love and that, loyalty. And I literally made myself sick to the point I went to the hospital. was in the hospital all day on Friday. Actually went to the urgent care, then to the hospital, and then I had a checkup appointment like a few days, 2-3 days later. Terrible. Vlogmas. I prepared for Vlogmas. I'm still working out, eating healthy outside of the time I was sick. And the crazy thing is that I've been sick so much this year. December comes to do Vlogmas. I definitely prepared for Vlogmas, like to the T. Decorate my house, my office, like the whole works. And I was really excited that I did that. And it was a very good experience. I did end Vlogmas, I think 2 days early, but I need to spend that time with my kids because I started to feel like I felt for Thanksgiving, and I didn't want to feel like that. So I need to spend time with my kids and my husband. And it's just definitely, it's been the best and the worst year of my life. And when I say looking into 2021, where you at? Because I need it, okay? But I definitely showed up for myself this year. I showed up for myself. I showed up for my family. I have definitely done some things I never thought I would do, experienced some things I never thought I would experience, all because I made the decision to quit my job. I know if I would have never quit my job, I would never feel like I feel now. I feel, even though I've been sick on several occasions this year, I feel refreshed. I feel good. I feel like I am leading my life the way it's supposed to be with the help of my Lord and Savior. And I couldn't have asked for a better year. Like I said, the worst part of my year is that I was sick and I lost several times, about 5 or 6 times, and I lost my grandmother. But outside of that, I bought a house. We moved back to the Midwest. You know, my YouTube's doing good. My girls' Instagram, like all these things are doing good. Like I became a painter. I started making rugs with my Cricut. Like I just been doing so many things, and I'm so grateful for 2020. 2020 has been bad for a lot of people, but not for me. Not for me. God has been so good. When I say I ain't never we ain't missed no meals. We been eating good. Lights been on. Everything. Y'all, comment down below on how y'all 2020 went. Y'all, I am Forever Patra Denise, and y'all be sweet.